I'm Tracy Baxter with today's Record Newswatch. Coming soon to a street near you, if they haven't arrived already, potholes. Many of our roads and streets are now littered with them, and pothole season has begun early this year because of our wacky weather that's been a mix of mild temperatures, snow and rain, and bitter cold.
Thanks to the weather changing between warm, above freezing, and below freezing, what happens is, as you know, the water, when it's liquid, it will go through the cracks in the pavement. Overnight, it will freeze. Once it freezes, it will expand and it will pop the pavement. And that's why you see asphalt potholes all over the place. We got 2 crews going all over the city to try to address this, you know, we're using cold patch, as you know, and it's not a permanent fix. However, we're trying our best to catch up with it and make our streets and roads safe for the residents and for the people who are driving through the city.
Earlier today, a Middletown DPW crew was busy filling the many cavities on Wawayanda Avenue. Commissioner Tawil says the street should finally be resurfaced this spring, now that much of the nearby SUNY Orange construction work's been completed. If you spot a deep pothole or two during your drive, give your public works department in that municipality a call. Opening arguments were to be made this afternoon in Orange County Court to begin the first-degree murder trial of Victor Koltun, the Brooklyn rabbi accused of masterminding a murder-for-hire plot that took the lives of 2 men in the city of Newburgh more than 3 years ago. Former Town of Lloyd police officer Frank Piscopo and his nephew, 28-year-old Gerald Piscopo of Highland, were gunned down in a vacant house on Liberty Street back in November 2010. Prosecutors say Koltun had business dealings with Frank Piscopo. 2 other men, Craig Fennell and Frank Lewis of Brooklyn, admitted to being the hired shooter and lookout. They pleaded guilty and are serving prison terms. Some potentially good economic news coming to the town of Goshen. Amy's Kitchen, an organic and natural food manufacturer, is planning to build a plant on 200 acres off Echo Lake Road. Companies applied to the Orange County Industrial Development Agency for property tax abatements, and they say the $95 million project, if approved, would create roughly 680 jobs. The property was the site of a former sand and gravel quarry. Representatives from the California-based company were to present their development proposal to IDA officials today. A couple from Lake Katrine face felony charges following an investigation into the theft of a truck from a car dealership in the town of Ulster. State police say 43-year-old Ricky Williams faces a grand larceny charge for stealing the vehicle after the business was closed. 30-year-old Martha White was later charged with criminal possession of stolen property. The stolen vehicle was recovered, but still missing is a minute mount plow that was on the truck when it was taken. Also in Ulster County, a hamlet of Wallkill couple was arrested for the felony charges of welfare fraud and offering a false instrument for filing. 47-year-old Danielle Conklin and 44-year-old Timothy Conklin were arrested following a joint investigation conducted by the Ulster County Department of Social Services and State Police. A man from Montgomery faces charges of aggravated drunk driving and driving without a license in connection with a fatal car pedestrian accident that happened in the Bronx this past weekend. 28-year-old Augustus Jenkins of Montgomery was arrested following an investigation into the death of 32-year-old Nija Herring. Police say she was struck and killed while crossing a street. If you live in the town of Rosendale and you've had property stolen from your vehicle, state police would like to hear from you. They've recovered several items that were stolen following the arrest of 3 Ulster County residents. 36-year-old Jacob Doris and 32-year-old Valerie Teague, both of Ackward, and 31-year-old David Tresvik of Olive Bridge have been charged with grand larceny and criminal possession of a weapon following their arrest for stealing from motor vehicles. Anyone who may have had their vehicles or buildings entered during the past several weeks and are missing tools or other items are asked to call State Police BCI in Highland. The number is 845-691-2922. And back in 1991, Chris Poulos was a crowned bicycle stunt world champion. And for the past 25 years, Poulos has used his talents on a bicycle to not only entertain young people, but to educate them. Today, Polis was capturing the attention of children in the Pine Bush School District at the Circleville and Pecanasink elementary schools. It's where he showed off his skills while passing along anti-bullying lessons about diversity, acceptance, and respect. And he says he's been able to effectively deliver his message while performing stunts on his bike.
When I do some stunts, it definitely keeps their attention. I use some stunts as examples. I have a stunt called the boomerang that I do, and I include that with a story about trying to throw a boomerang and having people make fun of me. So some of the stunts relate to some of the things I talk about, but it's also my hook. I mean, the kids will the kids will listen to anything I have to say because I'm a stunt rider, and you know, kids realize that I had to do a lot of work to get here, and I've learned a lot, and they enjoy it and they respect it, so that really helps me get across to them well.
Polis lives in Rhode Island, and he brings his program to about 150 schools every year. He's written a book called Getting the Most Out of Your Teenage Years. That'll hit bookstores in the spring. And he ended his presentation this morning at Circleville Elementary the way he always does, by jumping over a couple of brave teachers. You may need sunglasses and hopefully not a foghorn when you head off to work tomorrow morning. It'll be mostly sunny Thursday with the highs up around 40 degrees. Friday will be cloudy with temperatures reaching the low 40s, and there will be the chance of a passing rain or snow shower late Friday night. Get the news and information to help you start your day in the Times Herald Record. And keep clicking here at Record Online for news when it breaks. For Record Newswatch, I'm Tracy Baxter.